gentlemen, at this time, let's hear it for our Lady Cats and their starting lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome number 1, Tatum Moore. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome number 3, Bailey Wright. Please welcome number 4, Callie Dahl.
Hello and welcome, Lander Valley soccer fans, to the second round of the state tournament as the Lady Tigers prepare to take on Douglas here in Green River. It is a very windy afternoon with gusts as high as 50 miles per hour. The large American flag just above the field is absolutely whipping in the wind. Certainly will be a factor in this all-important matchup today. Sort of a shame that on such an important soccer occasion, the game might be affected by the conditions, but it will affect both teams equally. And so over the course of the game, I'm sure we will see some play affected by the wind. But for Lander Valley yesterday in the first round, getting that important win against Buffalo, taking the Lady Tigers to today's match in the semifinal against Douglas. Douglas certainly will be a challenging and fierce opponent for the Lady Tigers. I just spoke with head coach Abilio Monteiro, and he said, though they have not played this Douglas team before, they do know that they are quite strong. Monteiro's team has been busy over the last 24 hours watching footage from this Douglas opponent, trying to get a sense of their strengths and weaknesses and building up a set of tactics to accommodate that and hopefully get a win today in this big semifinal matchup. So as always, we do appreciate you watching along from afar on the YO Today YouTube channel. You can go ahead and use the comment section to let me know how the stream is performing on your end. If there's adjustments that I can make, I will be checking those comments, and I will do my best in real time to make the stream the very best that it can be.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome number 12, Mason Morton.
And of course, unfortunately, we are not allowed to stream video during the state tournament, so it will just be a scoreboard on your screen and a play-by-play voiceover from yours truly here from Green River. I will do my best to keep the play-by-play consistent throughout the match so that you're able to follow along just by listening. When we have video, I can kind of allow the video to tell part of the story, but now without the video, I'll be sure to follow the ball around the pitch and keep the fans at home alert as to the latest action in the game. And we are just moments from kickoff here as both teams take one final opportunity to huddle up, gather themselves, and get some energy flowing before this all-important semifinal match. As we await kickoffs, I will go through the starting lineups for both teams, starting with the Douglas Lady Cats. Today, starting for Douglas, we've got in goal Tatum Moore, got Bailey Wright, Kelly Dahl, Leah Ewing, Lauren Olson, Kale Starkey, Olivia Penfield, Macy Pyle, Molly Parker, Macy Engel, and Peyton Yost. And it is Douglas getting us underway, kicking the ball off on this nice quality artificial turf field here at Green River Middle School on a sunny and warm, but as I mentioned, extremely windy afternoon. Lander Valley, upon receiving their first possession, immediately tries to play one long to Blue Blackburn, but goes a bit too long, and the Douglas goalkeeper just punches it out of play. Throw into the Lady Tigers. So for the Lady Tigers starting lineup today, we have, as always, Aislinn Donahue in goal. We've got Addie Rounds, number 3. Tenley Reisig, number 5. We're glad to see Tenley Reisig starting today's game after it appeared she may have sustained an injury in yesterday's match. She did go down late in the match and had to be subbed off, and we were all concerned that perhaps she wouldn't be able to continue on in the state tournament, but she is back out there on the field today, which is great to see, and of course good news for this Lady Tigers team, who certainly relies on Reisig's stable play at right back. And it's Douglas coming forward with the ball now into Lander Valley's half. But stolen back by the Lady Tigers. Lander Valley with the long ball forward, but no one in particular will be able to get on the end of that one. And continuing with the starting lineup, we've got Brindley Hammond, stalwart at center back. We have Aurelia Reagan, number 9, starts today. We also have Blue Blackburn, as I mentioned, and Mason Morton's out there, Addison Weston, Ella Stanberry starting up top. We also have Allie Atnip and Finley Morton. So it is Aurelia Reagan setting up to take a throw in, but the referee determines that the ball actually belongs to Douglas, and Douglas takes the throw instead. Addison Weston battling for possession in Douglas's half. And Weston does win the ball momentarily, but some persistent defending from Douglas gets the ball clear. Now Douglas can come forward. It was Finley Morton involved, getting the ball out of play. Now Douglas will take a throw in on the far side. Still Douglas out of play once again. Another throw for the Lady Cats. So the wind is blowing so hard that the corner flags are having trouble staying upright. One just fell flat once again. I don't think the referee has noticed quite yet. Blue Blackburn takes the ball inside of her own half and turns, finding Aurelia Reagan, who sends it back up to Blackburn, but Douglas gets there first and clears defensively. Another long ball forward now for Blackburn. Douglas goalkeeper rushes out of the 18-yard box to get there first, sending it out of play for a Lady Tiger throw-in. Addison Weston at the top of the box. She'll take a shot here. And the shot is on target, but it's into the arms of the Douglas goalkeeper. A good opening there for Weston. She had lots of time and space to pick her spot, but in the end didn't quite get a hold of it and only found the goalkeeper. But now it's Lander once again coming forward. Promising early signs here for the Lady Tigers. Douglas now preparing to take a goal kick into the wind. We'll see how far this will travel with powerful breeze blowing. And it does get caught in the wind and is pulled out of play. The wind's certainly a factor on that goal kick, something I'm sure we will see a lot of today throughout this match. Now Douglas clears, but once again the wind just pulls that out of play, and Lander will take a throw in via Ali Atnip on the far side at midfield. So for longtime soccer fans and spectators, you'll know that the game doesn't really work very well with 50-mile-per-hour gusts. Here comes Douglas now with an opportunity on goal. An incredible save by Aislinn Donahue keeps the score at 0-0. That was Douglas number 9 charging forward with a one-on-one against Donahue. Donahue, though, got out quickly and made the save. Excellent goalkeeping there from Landers number 0. Donahue has had a nearly flawless state tournament so far. She's in great form at this late stage of the season. Now it's Blue Blackburn going forward, looking for Mason Morton. But Douglas comes up with it again. Played long. But cut out and cleared away by Lander Valley. So in my pre-match conversation with head coach Abilio Monteiro, he did say that the team is feeling confident coming off of yesterday's win against Buffalo. They know that they're facing a tough opponent today, but these early signs in the match have certainly shown us that Lander Valley is a match for this Douglas team. There is no sign so far that it will be a one-sided match in either direction. Monteiro also complimented his team for the composure that they showed late in the match yesterday during extra time when they managed to score 3 goals during the added period. Here comes Blue Blackburn now, trying to get across into the box. Blackburn down at the byline, still battling, and finds Mason Morton, but now that one rolls out of play off of a Douglas defender for a Lander Valley throw-in. Aurelia Reagan takes the throw, sends the ball into the box, but it's headed away by Douglas and finally definitively cleared, but only as far as Tinley Reisig, who now has the ball. Reisig can turn, tries to find Blackburn, and it rolls out of play. Now Lander Valley will take a throw in. So a lot of Fremont County soccer action today in the state tournament. Blue Blackburn has an opportunity along the right-hand channel here, trying to get across into the box, but once again, well defended by Douglas to win a goal kick. It's the Riverton Lady Wolverines currently playing in the 4A semifinal, and later today, shortly after the conclusion of this match, we will have the boys Tigers team taking on Cody in their semifinal after a dramatic win on penalty kicks yesterday. So 3 Fremont County soccer teams still alive in the state tournament, fighting for that much desired state championship title. Gathered by Mason Morton and sent long for Blackburn. Blackburn will keep it in. It was a good ball there from Morton. Blackburn sends the cross into the box. It's just clawed away by the goalkeeper, but Morton's shot is just wide. Mason Morton got a loose ball at the top of the 18-yard box. Hit it first time, but it just Went narrowly high and wide. Good effort there from Morton. We did see number 12, Mason Morton, score from a similar position yesterday outside of the box with the inside of that right foot and just delicately finding that top right corner. Does appear that Morton is wearing her shooting boots once again today. Good signs for Lander. Now it's Mason Morton again. Aurelia Reagan has it. Tries to drop it back for Tinley Reisig, but Douglas steals. Now it's the Douglas number 9 charging forward. Dribbling through several Lady Tigers, but eventually cleared away. Douglas has a throw in now, and they come forward once again, but they kick it out of play. And Lander will now have a chance to take the throw. A long throw forward, caught up in the wind. Rolls deep into Douglas's half, but they do come up with it, the Douglas Lady Cats. Still Douglas, finally cleared as far as Tinley Reisig, but it lands at the feet of a Douglas midfielder, and now Douglas looking to come forward again. Yes, and it is their number 9 charging through on goal once again. But once again, Aislinn Donahue matches the one-on-one and gets low to block the shot. That's twice now that Aislinn Donahue has come up clutch against the quick and on-rushing number 9 from Douglas. It's those one-on-one through balls that are the major threat currently for Douglas against the Lady Tigers. That speedy number 9 just outpacing some of Lander's center backs, but so far Donahue in goal has been a match to it. Now it's a through ball up top for Blue Blackburn, racing to get there, but the Douglas goalkeeper clears. And Blue Blackburn with an opportunity here and takes the shot on, and it falls to, oh no, it was Reagan with an open net. Ella Stanberry, rather, who tried to gather the bouncing ball with a completely gaping net in front of her, but the finishing touch just went up and over the crossbar. Couldn't keep it down there, Stanberry. Stanberry now subbed off and just encouraged by her coaches on her way off the pitch that that's okay. She'll have more opportunities. And not to get too down on herself, but still, that is a tough missed opportunity for the Lady Tigers team. So good chances for both teams early in this match. There's 27 minutes still to go in the first half. A lot of time left to play, still 0-0, but several shots on target and off target for both sides. It looks like we are not long in this game from seeing a score. It's the Lady Tigers coming forward now into Douglas's half, but Douglas regains possession in defense and charges up the left-hand sideline, and Tinley Reisig sends it out of play. Now it's Douglas into the Lander Valley half. Still Douglas. Mason Morton involved defensively. Now Addison Weston sends it wide across and left to Finley Morton, but it goes out of play. Douglas throw. Still Douglas on the ball. Douglas in a central area, charging forward. Now it's wide, but still in the possession of Douglas. Douglas with it, looking to take a shot at the top of the 18, but Addison Weston did well defensively to get involved and stop the shot from coming in. Now it's Mason Morton sending a long one through toward Blue Blackburn, but it won't get there. Douglas in possession again. Now Lander Valley. Ali Atnip with the ball in midfield. Sends it long and forward, but too long. Douglas goalkeeper in possession. Aurelia Reagan did well in midfield to get involved from the Douglas goal kick, but now the Lady Cats have it again. Still Douglas ball. Ali Atnip swept across to send the ball out of play. Douglas will now take a throw 25 yards from goal on their right-hand side. So the game just paused momentarily as Blue Blackburn has gone down. Blackburn back up on her feet now. Seems to be okay, but she will come off the field momentarily, and Ella Stanberry will go back on. Blue Blackburn just walking over to the physio table for a little quick checkup on her right foot. Perhaps she was just stomped on a little bit. It seems she's okay, but she will receive a little bit of treatment here, possibly some ice and some tape. Meanwhile, Douglas throws the ball back into play, and we are underway once again. The long ball forward from Mason Morton looking for Ella Stanberry, but Douglas cuts it out once again. It falls to Addison Weston, though. And now a long bouncing ball over the top goes over the byline, and Aislinn Donahue will have a goal kick for Lander Valley. Mason Morton in possession. Looks for Ella Stanberry up top. Ball bouncing around in midfield. Both teams trying to settle it. Fell momentarily for Douglas there, but good defensive intervention from Lander Valley. Now it's Lander Valley taking a throw on the far side. Addison Weston taking responsibility for it. And a whistle is blown there for a foul on Lander Valley immediately after the ball was thrown in. I think that was Hadley Weston, the recipient of the foul. Now it'll be Mason Morton stepping up to take the free kick from a wide position, about 25 yards from goal. Wide and left. Here comes the ball into the box. And it's just stopped by a Douglas defender and sent out of play for a Lander Valley throw, this time on the near side. It's going to be Aurelia Reagan, number 9, to step up and take it. And Blue Blackburn is back up from the treatment table and on the sideline, ready to go back into this match. And another whistle is blown for yet another foul against Lander Valley. Similar position to the last one, except this time on the near side. Mason Morton will step up to take it once again. It appears this time with her right foot. Morton likely just going to curl an outswinging cross into the box here. And the ball does come in, but the wind really picked up on that one and took it over the goal entirely. So now Blue Blackburn comes back into the game in place of Ella Stanbury, and Douglas has a goal kick. Douglas has a goal kick. Only because of the wind. So we do have 20 minutes left to go in the first half. That means we are roughly 1/4 of the way through regulation time. Score remains 0-0. Both teams have had good chances to score, but neither team has been clinical enough to finish their chances, and it is still locked in at the 0-0. Plenty of time left to go, though. 20 minutes, as I said, still in the first period. Mason Morton. Out of play. Lander will throw once again. Both teams battling, and a whistle is blown. Douglas will take a free kick just along the far sideline. And here comes the free kick. It's long, and it rolls all the way back to Ali Atnip in defense for Lander, who sends it out of play for another Douglas throw-in. This time midway in between the Lander Valley byline and the halfway line. And on the far side of the field, that's Douglas, the right-hand side channel for Douglas. Addison Weston wins the ball and sends it long, and then it's poked out of play by Hadley Weston. And a whistle blown now. Free kick to Douglas, 35 yards from goal. A dangerous, well, the wind is so strong that the ball will not stay put on the surface of the pitch. The ball actively rolling around as Douglas tries to set up to take this free kick. They'll be forced to wait for the wind to die down here. Slightly comical scenes out there as the game cannot continue until the wind slows down because the ball is rolling on its own accord. As I mentioned earlier, these conditions are simply not optimal for soccer. Here comes the ball into the box, but Aislinn Donahue has it in her possession. There's a certain level of wind where it starts to affect the direction of every ball on every pass, where the game just becomes less than ideal to play out. And I can see the referees talking to each other, possibly considering what to do about these severe conditions. The referee now talking to both head coaches. There may be a possibility that we'll have a delay here, but as of now, we are still playing on. The ball rolls forward into the Douglas half, where the goalkeeper just sends it out of play for a Lander Valley throw. Aurelia Reagan takes the throw toward Blue Blackburn, but it goes out of play quickly off of Douglas for another Lander throw. Reagan will take this one again. Here it comes off the head of Blackburn. Mason Morton tries to gather it. Morton does have the ball now. Sends it toward Addison Weston, but cleared by Douglas. 16 minutes to play in the first half. 0-0 the score. Now it's Douglas coming forward on the counterattack. And sent long and forward toward Hadley Weston. Hadley Weston couldn't get there first, and Douglas goalkeeper got off her line to clear the ball. And a whistle blown for yet another foul against Mason Morton. Morton draws a lot of fouls because she is so good with the ball at her feet. This one will come 50 yards from the goal, so a long distance, but that powerful right foot of Morton will surely get the ball into the danger area from distance. Here comes the free kick, and it bounces in front of the goal, and it's in! Mason Morton scores from 50 yards. Absolutely hammered that ball from its dead position 50 yards from goal. It bounced awkwardly in front of the Douglas goal. It seemed the goalkeeper was going to get there, but the awkward bounce just took it underneath her outstretched hands and into the side netting. 1-0 Lander Valley. So once again, it's Mason Morton from distance scoring the all-important goals here for the Lady Tigers. And now a trip on Douglas results in a free kick for the Lady Cats. No yellow card shown to Lander Valley, but the Douglas crowd does call for a yellow card to be shown. Here comes the shot. Saved from the Douglas free kick there. Another good effort from distance. It was hard to tell if that one was on target or not. But either way, Aislinn Donahue felt the need to get her hands on it. And she did push the ball out of play and over the byline. Now Douglas will take a corner kick as a result. Here comes the cross. It's into the box. Now it's bouncing, and the shot is wide. Goal kick to Lander Valley. Now Lander Valley's goal kick travels low and into midfield where Douglas immediately gathers it. Douglas now coming forward with renewed intent to score after going down 1-0. Lander Valley, though, turns and finds Hadley Weston on the wing, but Weston is pushed over and fouled for yet another Lander Valley free kick. This one near the midway line. Mason Morton will take it once again. And as we've seen previously, the ball is refusing to stay put on the pitch. The wind just blowing it all over the place. Slightly frustrating for Morton, who's trying to just take this free kick. She's actually having her teammate Allie Adnip hold the ball in place for her, almost like a football player would. Now it's into the box. But it's out of play, and Douglas will take a throw. Possession immediately returned to Lander Valley, and Mason Morton now cleared by Douglas. Sent long and forward. The wind has kept that one rolling further than it would have otherwise, and now it's out of play inside of the Lander Valley half for a Douglas throw-in. And meanwhile, the Riverton Lady Wolverines are down 1-0 against Jackson in their semifinal matchup. That's happening just across town over in Rock Springs. Here comes a low shot from distance from Douglas, but Aislinn Donahue gathers it with ease. Douglas in possession in midfield. Still Douglas. Play broken up well there by Aurelia Reagan, but Douglas has it once again. Douglas coming forward along their left-hand side, but can't keep it in play, and it goes out. Lander Valley will have a throw. Certainly, once again, the wind was a factor there, just taking the ball away from the feet of the Douglas left winger as she tried to come forward. The wind blew it out away from her feet and out of play. Now Lander Valley has a throw in. Number 9, Aurelia Reagan steps up to take it. But the referee says, come back about 10 yards to take the throw. You progressed more than you should have there. Reagan does so and throws the ball into Mason Morton. So some signs of frustration shown here by the Douglas supporters on the sidelines, just calling for the referee to blow whistles on fouls that they feel that they've spotted and the referee has not. But it's Lander Valley now trying to clear. Douglas still has the ball, though, at the top of the Lander Valley box. Still Douglas. But Aislinn Donahue jumps off her line and rushes forward to pick up the ball 10 yards from her net. And now Donahue takes a drop kick and sends the ball long into midfield, where Douglas, number 29, the center back, gets the first touch on it and regains possession for her team. So a series of substitutions now for both teams. Blue Blackburn and Hadley Weston come off for a breather on the bench. And possession is back in the feet of Douglas in midfield. Douglas growing into this game after conceding the goal from Lander Valley, working hard to equalize. Still Douglas in possession. Still Douglas sent forward into the central area. The Lady Cats still have it, but Mason Morton gets involved and steals the ball away. Ellis Stanberry tries to chase, but Douglas takes the ball back. And it goes all the way deep to the Lady Cats goalkeeper, who tries to clear it wide, but the wind takes hold of it and sends it out of play for a Lander Valley throw. So we've got Harlow Baker out there playing up top in place of Blue Blackburn, who's out on the bench taking a break and drinking some water. Douglas clears the ball wide, but it flies out of play like a kite on the wind. And Lander Valley will take a throw in. And another substitution for the Lady Tigers. This time Aurelia Reagan comes out, and Kennedy Bernard, number 37, the sophomore, comes into play in midfield. Lander Valley takes a throw. It only goes as far as Douglas's right back, and she's able to clear the ball. Douglas attempts to switch play and send the ball across the field, but it goes out of play, and now Lander Valley will have a throw in on their right-hand side. It's sent forward toward Harlow Baker. Harlow Baker running onto the ball, but it's touched onto the byline and out of play by Douglas. That means the Lady Tigers will have a corner kick. Good work from Baker to win that one. Addison Weston comes across to take the corner. There are 5 Lady Tigers waiting in the box to try to get a touch on this one. Here comes the corner kick. It's immediately cleared away at the near post by Douglas. And the Lady Cats now charging forward on the counterattack. Still Douglas. But immediately cleared away by Brinley Hammond. Now it's out of play for a Lander Valley throw. Lander Valley takes the throw long. Can't keep it in though, and it goes out immediately for a Douglas throw. Possession just changing hands repeatedly here. So whistle blown now for a Lander Valley free kick inside of their own half. Once again, Mason Morton steps up to take this. Morton, the resident free kick taker all over the pitch for the Lady Tigers. It's really long into a dangerous area for Morton, and it bounces into the hands of the goalkeeper, who tips it up awkwardly and finally can gather it. Once again, Morton creating threatening opportunities for her team from long-range free kicks. And you do have to feel for both teams out there. The ball is very difficult to track with these heavy gusts. Almost impossible to predict exactly where it will end up anytime it's kicked up into the air. The wind has been catching it and pulling it up and sideways and down and around, and it really affects the game and the ability of the players to predict where exactly the ball will go on its path, whether it be it through the air or on the ground. Now it's going to be Douglas taking a goal kick. 5 minutes left to play in the first half. The score is still 1-0 Lady Tigers with that narrow 1-goal lead. And as we wait to see this goal kick from Douglas, the ball once again needs to be held in place by a teammate to be kicked. Otherwise, it would be rolling all over the place. And it is kicked, and the wind just takes it out of play. Very challenging to have a game of soccer in these conditions. The ball seemingly does not want to stay in bounds. Now it's Douglas with a trio of substitutions. And for Lander Valley, Hadley Weston, number 30, waits her turn to come back into the match off of the bench. Douglas clears the ball into Lander Valley's half. Ali Atnip is chasing it. It's out of play, though, and before Atnip will take the throw, Weston on the sideline will come in. Hadley Weston into the center forward position, sending Harlow Baker out wide and left, and Ella Stanberry, who was previously playing that left forward role, is off. Douglas looking to clear the ball out of their own half, but possession stolen by Lander Valley. Into the feet of Mason Morton. Mason Morton dribbling into a central area and taking on the shot from distance. It bounces, and it's into the arms of the Douglas goalkeeper, who was ready for that one. 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Mason Morton chases the ball out of play for a Douglas throw. Lander Valley just electing to finish out this first half without their all-important and star center goal-scoring striker, Blue Blackburn, who's still on the bench. And now the throw from Lander Valley. Toward Hadley Weston, who gets onto it first. Still Hadley Weston chases it, but it's loose, and the Douglas goalkeeper was able to get there before Hadley Weston. does appear there was a collision in the box between Harlow Baker and a Douglas player off the ball. The referee just checking in with both players to make sure everything's okay. And it is, the referee says, play on. Douglas with a drop kick in goal. And once again, the wind is a factor and the ball goes out of play. Long ball forward from Lander Valley, looking for Hadley Weston. Hadley Weston gets a touch on it, but it's still bouncing around with neither team taking control. Hadley Weston now gets a ball into the box, but it's cut out by Douglas, and Douglas clears. Out of play for a Lander throw. 1 minute and 30 seconds until halftime. Lander marauding deep into the Douglas half. Perhaps just one more opportunity left in the first half. Can the Lady Tigers make something happen here? Long throw into the box, but it's headed away by Douglas. For yet another Lander Valley throw. Less than a minute left to go until halftime. Here comes the long throw from Lander. It's into the box. And the shot, it's blocked. Still Lander Valley in possession, though. And another shot is well wide. I believe that was Brindley Hammond taking it on. .30 seconds to go as Douglas steps up to take the goal kick. The clock is ticking down into the final 10 seconds. Lander Valley, Aurelia Reagan just clears in midfield. And the ball is sent high and wide by Douglas. That will do it and take us to halftime, where the score is Lander Valley Lady Tigers 1, Douglas Lady Cats 0. So thanks as always for following along and supporting the Lander Valley soccer program from afar. We've just seen an evenly matched first half of soccer where perhaps the real winner was the wind, which seemed to get the best of both teams at different times. It is blowing so hard out here, significantly affecting the game. But in the end, it's an issue for both teams and sort of just a great equalizer. Not much we can do about it as there's a whole tournament to play and we do need to get these games wrapped up and completed. So despite the conditions being suboptimal, it does seem we will be playing out today's game as usual. So we'll have 5 minutes for halftime, and we'll be right back with the second half. Don't go anywhere because this state championship semifinal between Lander Valley and Douglas will be continuing very soon.
A proud sponsor of this broadcast is Bailey Enterprises. For over 50 years, Bailey has become the name you can trust. With Pit Stop Travel Centers, you can fuel up and stock up on trip snacks at locations all over Fremont County. You can also put your trust in Bailey Tire and Auto for service to keep handy for those times when your luck runs out on the road. Refresh at the Speedway Cafe with a dine-in meal or a round of carry-out with a variety of specials to keep you going. Go with Bailey. Community Health Centers of Central Wyoming has locations across Fremont County ready to serve you at Du Bois Medical Clinic, Riverton Community Health, and Lander Community Health Pediatrics. We accept all forms of insurance, including Medicaid and Medicare. Are you struggling to get medical care? Ask for their sliding fee scale. From family medicine to pediatrics, Community Health Centers are here to serve you. Call 307-463-7160 or visit chccw.org to schedule your appointment.
During winter storms, it doesn't take long for roads to turn slick. Snowfall is often accompanied by high winds, and blowing and drifting snow can make it difficult to see the road. Speed limits are based on dry pavement conditions and good visibility. Be ready to reduce speed and increase following distance. Crashes are twice as likely to happen when it's slick out, and it's usually because someone is driving too fast for conditions. Remember, when there's ice and snow, take it slow. This message is brought to you by WYDOT.
Central Wyoming College now offers Bachelor of Applied Science degrees in Early Childhood Education and Organizational Management and Leadership, with an emphasis in outdoor education, tribal leadership, or business and entrepreneurial leadership. CWC offers 3 ways to learn: online, virtual, and in person. Learn, grow, lead, and advance at Central Wyoming College. CWC is leading the way with expanded programs in the Bachelor of Applied Science degrees.
You need an oil change, but you don't have a lot of time. Expressway Lubes on South Federal in Riverton and Highway 789 in Lander provide a fast, professional lube, oil, and filter change. Expressway Lubes, locally owned and proud to support our local student athletes. If your vehicle needs repair, you can depend on the crew at Extra Care Auto Repair. They can repair almost anything with wheels, gas, diesel, domestic, or import, and their work is top quality and reliable. Extra Care Auto Repair on North Federal in Riverton.
The staff and board at the Fremont County Fair wish to thank everyone who attended the fair this year. Whether you enjoyed Family Day, a night event, entered a craft show, or showed your livestock, thank you for all your efforts. We'll be moving and grooving next year, so stay tuned.
A well-drawn-up game plan can be the difference between wins and losses. The same can be said about your mental health. Making a game plan to talk to your children can make a huge impact on them and help make them feel supported and listened to. The good news is, this winning game plan isn't hard to implement. All it takes is you starting the conversation and being ready to talk. If you need helpful resources and tools, you can visit FremontCountyPrevention.com. From the field, to the court, to the pool, and beyond, Fremont County athletes give their blood, sweat, and tears for their teammates and community. Why compromise that with alcohol or marijuana? Help your athlete make the most of their playing time by avoiding the dangers and impact that substance use can have on their performance and future. For more resources and information, visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Visit Lander Gambles to make your home feel like new. They will beat any competitor's price. Stop by to speak to one of the sales agents or visit LanderGambles.com. Lander Gambles will help you find the perfect product that fits your budget and lifestyle. Lander Gambles, 420 Main Street, Lander, Wyoming.
Your car or truck is an investment. When it needs repairs, you need someone you can trust to do the job right. Take it to Gunners Automotive. They repair all makes and models of cars and trucks, from oil changes to brakes, tires, and more. Gunners Automotive, 856-2288.
High Plains Power is a Touchstone Energy cooperative. What does that mean for you as a Rural Electric Association member? It all comes down to 7 principles: open membership, one voice, one vote, member benefits, independence, education, cooperation, and community. To understand how it all works, we're headed back in time. In 1879, electricity was in major cities, but rural areas were out of luck. In 1935, President FDR made it possible for companies to build power lines to unserved areas. By the time we hit 1941, some 400 electric co-ops had been organized to serve rural America, just like High Plains Power. For more information, visit highplainspower.org.
Why should you choose Lander Medical Clinic or Western Family Care for your health care? In addition to 4 locations in Fremont County, they also provide telehealth. Telehealth can be your go-to answer when you're out of town, on the road, or just can't get to urgent care. All you need is a good internet connection. To schedule a telehealth appointment, call 332-2941 today. That's 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care. With telehealth, they're putting your health first every time.
Natural Health Solutions offers treatments for a variety of conditions, along with nutritional counseling, chiropractic, acupuncture, and more. Treatment plans designed individually to optimize your health. Call for an appointment, 856-8181 today.
Papa Murphy's is proud to sponsor this week's Player of the Game. For a limited time, enjoy a Papa Murphy's barbecue chicken pizza made with KC Masterpiece barbecue sauce. After the game or anytime, you can't beat the fresh ingredients and authentic flavor of a Papa Murphy's Take and Bake pizza. And you know it's baked right every time because you baked it yourself. Papa Murphy's on North Federal in Riverton. Drop in or order online at papamurphys.com. Go Wolverines!
When repairs are complete after a collision, you expect your car, SUV, or truck to look like new. That's the service you'll receive at Stork Auto Body in Riverton. Professionalism and meticulous attention to detail. You can depend on Stork Auto Body, 841 Miniweb Avenue, Riverton.
At Teton Therapy, our people make the difference. You can live pain-free.
Welcome back, Lander Valley soccer fans, for the second half of the semifinal matchup between the Lady Tigers and the Douglas Lady Cats. We are just moments away from kickoff in the second period, where it'll be Blue Blackburn to get us underway. The wind is still wildly out of control here in Green River, where the ball is being blown from side to side, even when it's just placed in a dead ball position on the surface of the pitch. Often players out there can't quite get it to stay put. But fortunately, we do have a team of local ball shaggers who are out there chasing after the ball and bringing it back toward the pitch every time the wind takes it off its course and sends it well beyond the field of play. We are back underway now in the second half. Lander clinging to that narrow but all-important 1-0 lead after number 12, senior Mason Morton, took a shot from 40 yards in the first half. That was a free kick from Morton, which bounced just in front of the Douglas goal and found the back of the net. Mason Morton once again coming up clutch from a free kick for the Lady Tigers. Still a lot of soccer left to play, though. 39 minutes on the clock as Lander Valley takes a throw-in inside of their own half. Here comes the throw, and it's drops for Addison Weston, and then Mason Morton, who boots it long, looking for Blue Blackburn, but as usual, the wind takes it out of play. Douglas will throw. Mason Morton plays it long once again. And it's out of play once again. But the referee determines that it took a deflection off of Douglas on the way out, meaning that Lander Valley has a throw-in inside of Douglas's half. Mason Morton. Douglas regains possession and knocks it off of Morton out of play for a throw-in inside of their own half. Here comes the throw. Tinley Reisig does well to turn and send the ball forward, but only as far as the Douglas back line. Now it's Mason Morton in midfield, looking to put Blue Blackburn through on goal, but again, Douglas defends well to put a stop to it. Blackburn to Douglas inside of the Douglas half, or Blackburn to Morton rather, inside of the Douglas half. Lander Valley wins a throw-in. So very difficult to get any patterns of play established in this win. We're rarely seeing more than a single pass linked together from either team. It's more of a pinball-like game out there where the ball is blasted side to side, end to end, carried out of play, a throw-in is taken, and repeat. So not the best spectating on display here for the fans of both teams, but there's nothing you can do about the conditions, so we're going to play on regardless, and at the end of 35 more minutes, we'll have a winner bound for the finals tomorrow. So Lander Valley takes a throw, but the wind takes the throw in out of play. Now Douglas will take a throw. But it immediately goes out of play once again, and now Lander will throw. This game may set the record for most throw-ins in a single match of soccer of all time, as Addison Weston prepares to take another one for Lander. Addison Weston sends the ball into a central area, but Douglas cuts it out. Douglas on the counterattack now, but Addy rounds for Lander. Clears the ball forward, and a whistle is blown against Douglas for a foul. I believe that foul was on Addy Rounds as she stepped up to clear the ball. Now Mason Morton will have a chance to take a free kick from 50 yards out from Douglas's goal. The ball teed up by Harlow Baker, and now Mason Morton hits it. Douglas defends well to get in front of the free kick, and finally sent out of play by Addison Weston for a Douglas throw inside of their own half. And the throw in up the line from Douglas is intercepted by Mason Morton, who battles now, tries to find Ella Stanbury, but Douglas wins the ball and sends it forward on the counterattack. Douglas, number 13, chasing the ball, but she can't get there, and it's out of play for a Lander Valley goal kick. 33 minutes to go in the game. Meanwhile, over in the Riverton Lady Wolverines against Jackson semifinal in the 4A conference, Riverton is still trailing 1-0 in that match. Here comes the goal kick from Lander Valley. It does not travel far, and Douglas gathers in a dangerous area. Douglas looking to take a shot, but it's wide of Aislinn Donohue's goal. There was a collision in the buildup. No foul, says the referee, and it appears that Aurelia Reagan is okay. But it will be a free kick to Douglas at the top of the Lander Valley 18-yard box. There are 5 Lady Tigers in the wall. This is a good opportunity for Douglas to equalize. Lander Valley with very important defending to do here. Aislinn Donohue bobbing back and forth along her own goal line. But the ball rolls around in the breeze and the free kick will be delayed. Douglas will likely need a player to hold the ball, tee it up like a football kicker. Now here comes the free kick, and it's tipped up by the Lander Valley wall and put out of play. Goal kick, Lander Valley. So the wall did its job there to block the free kick. I believe it was Ella Stanberry who blocked the initial shot with her forehead. Here comes the goal kick from Addie Rounds. And the wind direction does favor Douglas in this half. Lander Valley playing against the wind. They played with the wind in the first half. Douglas with the ball. Finley Morton wins it for Lander. Sends it forward toward Ella Stanberry, but Douglas cuts it out defensively. Still Douglas in midfield, holding on to possession well, but Blue Blackburn wins it for Lander. Blackburn looks for Ella Stanberry, but Douglas gets there again. Now Douglas in possession. Foul called against Douglas. That was Finley Morton committing the foul. Now Douglas will have a free kick 30 yards out from the Lander Valley goal. It'll be the Douglas number 14 to take the free kick. This is Kaylee Starkey, a junior. And here comes the free kick. It's into the box, and it's touched on by another Douglas player, but now it's sent wide, and Lander Valley can clear definitively. The ball rolls out of play. Douglas throws quickly. It's back in play now. Headed out by Addison Weston. Douglas will throw again. And Allie Atnip clears this time for another Douglas throw. Ball's still in play, held up by the wind. Douglas tries to get it into the box, but goes over the byline now for a Lander Valley goal kick. So we've got a half hour left to go in this semifinal. Hadley Weston picks up the ball in midfield for Lander, but Douglas quickly wins back possession and sends it forward only as far as Mason Morton. Possession changes hands over and over again. Neither team really able to settle. But now it's Douglas coming forward into the Lander Valley box. Still Douglas looking to get a shot away, but good defending from Addie Rounds. And eventually a long-range shot from Douglas goes wide of the Lander Valley goal for another free kick. Goal kick, rather, that Addie Rounds, number 3, will take. Now Douglas has an opportunity. Once again, neither team able to settle, but Lander Valley coming forward now. Blue Blackburn has the ball. Finds Mason Morton. Morton looks to send it back to Blackburn, but Douglas gets in the way. Douglas not able to definitively clear, but finally they do so, and the ball is sent toward midfield, where both teams battle for possession. Finley Morton trying to get there. Mason Morton involved as well. Tinley Reisig did well, but the ball rolled out of play. Now Douglas will take a throw in at midfield. So, of course, the winner of this game will be qualified for the final. Final set to take place tomorrow at 1 p.m. here in this stadium at Lincoln Middle School. Lander Valley just trying to clear the ball out of their own half, but Douglas comes up with it. Good clearance, though, by Addie Rounds to suffocate the danger and send the ball out of play. Now Douglas will take a throw in on their left-hand side, still in the Lander Valley half. It's flicked on into the box, but Addie Rounds again boots it out of play. Still 26 minutes left to go, but of course, if the score does hold, Lander Valley will be competing for a state title tomorrow at 1 p.m. Now it's Douglas holding on to possession, but the ball goes out of play, and Lander Valley will throw. It's Finley Morton sending the ball down the sideline. Hadley Weston's chasing it. Douglas owning most of the possession for now, but not creating many clear-cut chances to score. Lander Valley defending well. Now Douglas has the ball on the top of the Lander box. Still Douglas. A good step from Brinley Hammond. Gets the ball out of play. Douglas piling on some pressure here, though. Lander will have to be resilient to continue to defend well. Douglas, of course, desperate to equalize in this game and maintain their hopes of staying in the hunt for the state title. Blue Blackburn involved, playing some defense. Still Douglas coming forward. Douglas holding on to the ball, but Lander still defending well. Douglas at the top of the box. Still Douglas. Douglas looking for an opening to shoot, but Lander's backline so quick to just swarm the ball and prevent those shooting opportunities. Douglas doing everything they can, though, just piling on pressure, playing aggressively, pushing high up the field, pressing Lander Valley. This is the later stage of the game now where the team that's down 1-0 will inevitably start to take more risks because they need a goal if they want to get a result in the match. And so that is exactly what we're seeing. Douglas is pressing higher up the pitch, sending their forces forward, which is a good strategy, but it does leave space at the back for Lander Valley to potentially capitalize on the counterattack. Now it's Douglas coming forward again, sending a ball into the box, blocked by Addie Weston. Cleared by Ali Atnip, out of play. Douglas will take a throw in on their right-hand side. The throw comes quickly. Douglas with a ball into a central area and an opportunity here. But once again, well defended by Lander Valley. Another cross into the box and headed just wide. So a good opportunity there for Douglas. The secondary cross came into the box. It was a good ball in. One of the Douglas forwards did get her head on it. Donahue was beat, but the ball did not find the frame of the goal, and now Lander Valley takes a goal kick. It's Douglas again. Lander Valley just needs to ride this wave of pressure from Douglas. And a foul there given away by Blue Blackburn will give the Lady Cats a free kick from 35 yards. Three Lady Tigers in the wall defending the free kick. Here it comes. It's over the wall into the box. And here comes the shot, but Aislinn Donahue did well to pounce on it. Lander Valley still absorbing heavy Douglas pressure midway through the second half. We have 21 minutes to go. So, of course, Lander Valley missing one of their star players, Georgia Chance, today. Georgia Chance is in attendance here. Chance is rolling around on the sideline on her scooter, wearing a boot, recovering from that ankle injury, which we all hope will not keep her out of her active life very long. Good to see Chance here supporting her team, though. Now it's Douglas with a free kick from the edge of the box. Along their right-hand side, dangerous area. The cross comes into the box, but it's caught by Aislinn Donahue. Once again, great goalkeeping from Donahue. An ever-reliable presence at the back for the Lady Tigers. Douglas first to the ball in midfield, showing a lot of determination to get back into this game, the Lady Cats, but it's Blue Blackburn now with an opportunity to run forward into the Douglas half, trying to find Hadley Weston, but the Lady Cats have possession once again. Blue Blackburn comes up with it, though, and cuts inside. Mason Morton tried to take a shot from distance, but it was deflected. Still Lander Valley in possession, but now cleared definitively by Douglas. Douglas coming forward once again in a central area. They play the ball wide. Their number 19 is able to turn, battling with Finley Morton. Douglas trying to get across into the box, but Ali Atnip doing well to defend physically. She wins a free kick for her team inside of the Lander Valley half. Mason Morton, as usual, will take this one, and we can expect she'll just put her laces through it and send it as far upfield as she possibly can. 18 minutes left to play. We're now getting to the stages of the game where Lander will just try to protect their 1-0 lead by blasting the ball upfield, getting it out of their danger area and burning down the clock on their way to, we all hope, an eventual win and a ticket to the final tomorrow. Still a lot of soccer to play, though, as Lander Valley has a throw-in inside of their own half. So the relentless wind is showing no signs of dying down today. We can expect the second Lander Valley soccer game of the day, which will be the boys against Cody over at the high school here in Green River, will be equally windy. Now the Lady Tigers send one long toward Blue Blackburn, but she can't get there. It's out of play. Douglas takes a throw in. The ball shaggers on the far side are extremely busy, running all over the place to chase loose balls as the wind just gives them wings and sends them well beyond the field of play. A long ball forward from Douglas goes all the way through to the arms of Aislinn Donahue. Donahue's ball forward just stalled by the wind. As I've mentioned before, the wind direction is benefiting Douglas in this half as it benefited Lander Valley in the first. And across into the box from Douglas. Great work there from Brindley Hammond to sweep across and clear the ball away. So Lander's defensive prowess is very much on display here, especially in this second half where Douglas is doing everything they can, really throwing themselves at the ball to try to get back in the game. But Lander Valley is defending deep with a lot of players behind the ball. But it's Douglas again at the top of the box here with a shot. It's blocked. Still Douglas, though. Mason Morton gathers it at the top of the box and sends it out toward Harlow Baker, who tries to run forward, but it's out of play. Douglas will throw. So the Lady Tigers fully in a low block now with their whole team behind the ball trying to defend that 1-0 lead. Douglas doing the opposite, pressing high. Their entire team is now in the Lander Valley half. As Mason Morton blasts one forward. Harlow Baker tries to chase it. It falls to the feet of Blue Blackburn. Douglas is out of shape here, but Blackburn is fouled and wins a free kick for the Lady Tigers just inside the Douglas half. So Lander Valley Lady Tigers now just 14 minutes away from a ticket to the state final. Free kick comes forward, but it's cut out by Douglas. Harlow Baker gets involved. Finley Morton with the ball. Turnover. Now it's Douglas in midfield. Addison Weston tries to win it. Addison Weston battling. Very physical play, but the referee says no foul. Douglas comes up in possession. Ali Atnip playing defense, trying to get it out of the box and does so, but Douglas regathers 40 yards from goal. It's turned over again. Long ball forward from Douglas. That's going to ride the wind out of play over the byline. Goal kick, Lander Valley. So the drama and tension inside this Lincoln Middle School Stadium is beginning to rise. It's all now on the line for both teams. Lander Valley with the narrow lead that they're looking to protect and ideally build on the counter. They are playing in a low block, maximizing their defensive forces, trying to protect the narrow lead and hoping that an opportunity arises to maraud forward on the counter with the likes of Blue Blackburn and Harlow Baker waiting for service up top. Douglas once again tries to send one through, and it rolls all the way past their forwards into the open arms of Aislinn Donahue, who drop kicks that one into midfield. So Mason Morton there fouled Douglas and gave up a free kick near midfield, inside of the midfield circle. The ball once again will not stay put. The wind is blowing it all over the pitch. Douglas's number 21 walks over to tee up the ball for her teammate, and the ball into the box does come in. It travels on the wind. It's in the box. Douglas trying to do something here. Lander Valley defending with numbers. Douglas takes a shot. Goal! Douglas scores, and it's tied up 1-1 with just 12 minutes to go. Lander Valley has been absorbing heavy pressure throughout the second half, and after defending so resiliently, Douglas did well to just set up a player at the top of the 18-yard box with a clear shot on goal. She took her time, hit it well into the side netting of Donahue's goal. Aislinn Donahue did what she could to dive and try to get there, but it just went beyond her reach, and Douglas manages to get that all-important goal. It's all to play for here in the semifinal. Lander Valley 1, Douglas 1. Now it's Lander Valley with a throw inside of the Douglas half. The Lady Tigers will have to change their tactics now after they were seemingly planning on just riding their 1-0 lead and playing defense to a victory. Now that the game is tied, they'll have to make more of an offensive charge and press numbers forward into the Douglas half, which could possibly leave them exposed at the back. Very fine margins here in Green River in this semifinal matchup. Now Douglas does well to come forward along their left-hand sideline, penetrating once again into Lander Valley's half, but it goes out of play. And Lady Tigers have a throw. So it's Blue Blackburn committing a handball inside of the Douglas half. The crowd all noticed that and started a chorus of handball, handball, yelling at the referee. The referee did seem to notice either from the actual action or from the crowd, and he did raise his flag on the far side. Douglas takes the resulting free kick and sends it into Lander Valley's half. Now it's Douglas coming forward again, looking for a winner here. Defended well, though, by Addie Rounds. Now it's Douglas with the throw-in inside of the Lander Valley half. Ella Stanberry, number 17, comes back in for Lander Valley. Less than 10 minutes to play. Douglas looks to get across into the box, but it's out of play over the byline. Lander Valley goal kick. So we are poised for an intense finish in this semifinal as the score is tied with 9 minutes left to go. Both teams will be desperate to find a winner in regulation time and book their ticket to the final tomorrow at 1 p.m. Lander Valley looked comfortable until about midway through this second half, where Douglas really turned on the pressure and started to press forward. The Lady Cats did get their reward for all the effort, equalizing just a few minutes ago. Now it's still Douglas in the Lander Valley half. Ella Stanbury battling for it and giving up a foul against Douglas. Near the halfway line, Douglas will have a chance to take a free kick now. And of course, the ball won't stay put for a free kick, so it will need to be teed up. Here comes the free kick. And it's played out over the sideline by Finley Morton. Another Douglas throw-in now on their right-hand side. Here comes the throw. It's Douglas penetrating again into Lander Valley's half. Still Douglas on the ball. It's sent forward. Blue Blackburn dribbling in midfield, but she's double-teamed, and Douglas wins the ball again. Still Douglas. The wind is blowing harder than ever before. It's whistling through the stadium. Hats are flying off. Lander Valley tries to send one long to Blue Blackburn, but Douglas wins a throw-in. Brindley Hammond clears for Lander Valley. It's out of play, and Douglas makes a pair of substitutions now. 6.5 minutes to go. Of course, if the score remains tied at the end of regulation, we will be going to 2 10-minute extra time periods. If neither team can score in extra time, we will then have the penalty shootout. That still feels a long way away, though, now, because we have 6 minutes of regulation to go. Both teams battling to find the winner. We have arrived at the stage of the game where it feels like the next team to score is likely the team that will be playing in the finals of the state championship tomorrow. Blue Blackburn hits one forward. Ella Stanbury's chasing it. Stanbury won't get there. Douglas clears. Douglas sends the ball through, but Aislinn Donahue is hot off her line to get there. Blue Blackburn comes forward and tries to send a ball into the middle. Lander Valley's numbers up top are just being outnumbered by the Douglas backline every time they progress forward. Lander Valley still keeping a lot of players back, playing defense behind the ball, only sending 2 or 3 forward players at a time, which is working well for their defensive efforts, but is not allowing them to create much offensively going forward. Now Mason Morton has the ball in midfield. Sends one long toward Blackburn, but it's well out of play, and Douglas can take the throw. Inside the last 5 minutes now. Out of play again for another Douglas throw. I've lost count at this point, but we must be on throw-in number roughly 540. Now it's Mason Morton in midfield. Douglas comes up with it. Douglas looking to clear the ball out of their own half, and they do, but only as far as Finley Morton. Finley Morton gives the ball away to Douglas, and they come forward again. Here come the Lady Cats on the right-hand channel. Out of play, Douglas throw. Three minutes to go in regulation. Here comes the throw in from Douglas. And it's nearly into the goal, but it bounces just wide, and Lander Valley can clear. A near miss there for Douglas, and a close shave there for the Lady Tigers with less than 3 minutes to play. That was a huge moment in the match, but it's Douglas coming forward again. In a central area, still Douglas. Douglas pushed wide and right. No foul, says the referee. It's still Douglas with another cross into the box. Douglas with the opportunity, but cleared by Brindley Hammond. She did so well to play physical defense there. 2 minutes to go. Douglas with another throw, this time on their left side. And it comes into the penalty box, but it's cleared by Addie Rounds. Douglas throws again. Desperate defending for Lander Valley. It's out of play again. Douglas will throw. Still Douglas on the ball. A long distance cross into the box, but Aislinn Donahue has it. We are approaching the last minute of regulation time here at Lincoln Middle School in Green River. Aislinn Donahue's long ball forward for Blue Blackburn to chase, but Douglas wins the ball in midfield. Now it's Douglas, relentless pressure from the Lady Cats. Long ball forward, but too much on it, out of play, goal kick Lander Valley. 1 minute to go. Clock is still ticking. We're into the final minute. Addie Rounds tries to boot it long, but the wind does hold it up a little. The Lady Tigers are really fighting the wind as it blows directly into their run of play as they try to come forward. Out of play. Lander Valley throw. 30 seconds to go. Is there time for one final chance in the match? Mason Morton sends one long. Too much on it. Too much on it though, and it's out of play. Goal kick to Douglas with 20 seconds to go. That'll probably just about do it for regulation time in this game. It's difficult to tell who's been running more in the match, the players on the field or the ball shaggers who are tasked with chasing every ball that the wind blows off the field of play. They've been extremely busy. Now Douglas setting up to take the goal kick with 15 seconds left. It does roll into Lander Valley's half, but it'll go out of play. And we're into the final 10 seconds. So we will have extra time in this game, 2 10-minute periods. We'll have a short break now, followed by the first 10, and then an even shorter break followed by the second. If at the end of the 2 10-minute extra time periods, it's still tied, we will be going to penalties. So stay tuned. I'm going to take a short break, but I will be back ahead of the kickoff in extra time. The score here in Green River at the state tournament semifinal, Lander Valley 1, Douglas 1, extra time to come.
Therapy can help in Lander and Riverton.
Are you a caring person that wants to help but not sure where to go? Wyoming Senior Citizen Inc. is looking for caregivers across the state. Call 307-856-6880 to find out more information. They would like to wish all Fremont County athletes good luck this year.
At some point, everyone is a pedestrian.
When you're driving, yield to pedestrians. Wear light clothing. Walk on a pathway instead of the road.
Look out for pedestrians.
Avoid distractions like your phone.
Look out for pedestrians, they're everywhere. We are the Wyoming Indian Lady Chiefs. We need you in our stands.
Wyoming Community Bank is ready to serve you. Stop in at any one of their branches located in Riverton, Lander, and DuBois. A bank that is owned and operated by the locals of Fremont County. Wyoming Community Bank. They're here to help you.
From the wide open spaces to the canyon near you, Wyoming.com is reaching more homes and businesses than ever before. For more than 25 years, we've aimed to provide the best internet and phone service to meet the needs of our customers all across the great state of Wyoming. Now it's getting even better. Wyoming.com, expanding to an area near you. Wyoming.com. We're out there.
Want access to local news, sports, events, and more? Download the WYO Today app. Now available on all platforms. Stream your favorite radio station, submit something to buy, sell, or trade for deals on the dial, or view contests and special coupons. Better yet, the WYO Today app is the best way to access free HD video of Fremont and Hot Springs County athletics. It's all at your fingertips. Head to your app store or visit wyotoday.com to download the WYO Today app now.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
WYO Glass wants to wish all the Lander Valley Tiger teams good luck this year. WYO Glass is locally owned and operated in Lander. They bleed green. Call or stop in today to get a quote on a window or get a quick fix on your window for a rock chip. WYO Glass is Lander.
When you purchase your car, do you know if you got the best payment possible? The answer is probably no. Oftentimes, your loan is packed with additional charges that can drive your monthly payment higher than it should be, costing you thousands of dollars more for your car. Hi, this is Patty, and here is your second chance to get the payment you deserve. Visit Atlantic City Federal Credit Union today for a courtesy loan review. We've helped our members save money by refinancing their vehicle with us. Now it's your turn. Open your eyes to a credit union. Atlantic City Federal Credit Union.
Community Health Centers of Central Wyoming has locations across Fremont County ready to serve you at DuBois Medical Clinic, Riverton Community Health, and Lander Community Health Pediatrics. We accept all forms of insurance, including Medicaid and Medicare. Are you struggling to get medical care? Ask for their sliding fee scale. From family medicine to pediatrics, Community Health Centers are here to serve you. Call 307-463-7160 or visit chccw.org to schedule your appointment. High Plains Power is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative. What does that mean for you as a Rural Electric Association member? It all comes down to 7 principles: open membership, one voice, one vote, member benefits, independence, education, cooperation, and community. To understand how it all works, we're headed back in time. In 1879, electricity was in major cities, but rural areas were out of luck. In 1935, President FDR made it possible for companies to build power lines to unserved areas. By the time we hit 1941, some 400 electric co-ops had been organized to serve rural America, just like High Plains Power. For more information, visit highplainspower.org.
Heinz General Store has been the grocery.
And welcome back, Lander Valley soccer fans. We are going to extra time here in the Ladies 3A state tournament semifinals. The score at the end of the two 40-minute regulation periods was Lander Valley 1, Douglas 1, and we are now just kicked off and back underway in extra time. We will have two 10-minute periods. The first followed by a brief 2 or 3 minute halftime and then a second extra time period. If at the end of both extra time periods we are still tied, we will be going to that penalty shootout. And the wind is blowing absolutely out of control here in Green River. It's a little ridiculous at this point. And a ball played forward from Lander Valley is just cleared out of play by Douglas, giving up the throw in for Lander Valley inside of the Douglas half. Blue Blackburn does well to turn and come into a central area. Mason Morton hits it, but it's to no one in particular. Surely the wind kind of changed the trajectory of that effort from the left foot of Morton. But now Morton's little sister Finley on the near side has a chance to take a throw in. Douglas tries to clear. Mason Morton keeps it in play, and now Finley sends it toward goal, but the Douglas goalkeeper will get there with no issue. So Lander Valley still playing from left to right from my vantage point, meaning that they're still progressing into the wind when they go forward offensively, which is surely a disadvantage. I imagine the second period of extra time will switch the direction of the game, and Lander Valley will have another chance to go with the wind. For now, though, it's still tied. 8 minutes to go in the first period of extra time. Now Douglas with a long shot from distance. Ooh, just wide of Donahue's goal. That was a good effort. Donahue watched it all the way, but was struggling to get a hand to it. And in the end, it was wide anyway. Goal kick, Lander Valley. And in other important news for Lander Valley soccer fans, the Boys Tigers 3A semifinal against Cody is set to kick off at 4 p.m. That's a game that I am scheduled to call, and I will, of course, be over there at that venue as soon as this game wraps up. It does seem that now that this game has gone to extra time, I will not be able to get to the boys' game for kickoff, but I will get there as soon as possible. I'll be all set up and ready to call that remaining action in the game as soon as the Lady Tigers have finished their semifinal here at Lincoln Middle School. So now it's Mason Morton on the ball in midfield. Mason Morton looking for a pass, trying to pick out Aurelia Reagan, but it's near impossible to pass the ball accurately over long distances in these breezy conditions. Breezy being perhaps the understatement of the weekend. Now it's Douglas coming forward along the left-hand channel. Still Douglas. And the referee shows the yellow card to, I believe that was Addie Rounds. Yes, number 3, Addie Rounds received a yellow card there for some physical play. And Douglas will get to take a free kick at the top of the Lander Valley box as a result. Dangerous position for Douglas. Difficult free kick here to defend for Lander Valley. 6 minutes to go until halftime in extra time. So I have just heard that the game playing out over at the high school before the Lander Valley boys game has gone to overtime, which means that it's possible that that game will also be delayed. And I somewhat hope that happens, because if so, I will be able to get over there before kickoff in the boys matchup. For now, though, it's Douglas with a free kick at the top of the Lander Valley box. Here it comes. It's over the goal and out of play. So it's all to play for here in the semifinal. Both of these teams looking to punch their tickets to the state championship to be held tomorrow at 1 p.m. And we are into extra time now. The stakes are as high as ever. And unfortunately, the windy conditions are hurting the quality overall of the match. But what's important for both teams is that they find a way to persevere over these weird conditions and still find a way, despite them, to win this match. Douglas in possession in midfield. Still Douglas. Still Douglas. Missed clearance by Addie Rounds, but now referee says a foul took place there and another free kick falls the way of Douglas here. About 26, 27 yards from the face of Donahue's goal and in a central area. Another dangerous opportunity for Douglas. They've had a lot of free kicks in this game. Lander Valley with 4 Tigers in the wall. But the ball is rolling of its own accord due to the wind, so another Lady Cat has to tee it up for her teammate. Here comes the free kick, and it's on target off the crossbar. Another close shave for the Lady Tigers there. That free kick looked destined for the back of the net, but it hit the crossbar. Lady Tigers barely holding on here. Blue Blackburn, though, comes forward with the ball. She's all alone, Blackburn. Blackburn against 3 Lady Cats, and Douglas does enough to defend and dispossess Blackburn. So windy conditions are just a standard part of playing soccer in Wyoming, but what we're seeing here today in Green River is something a little bit different. The wind is affecting every passage of play. Every action out there on the field is dictated by the direction that the wind is blowing, as we've just seen there. Douglas throw-in just flies out of play, and it is turned over to a Lander throw-in on the far side, which immediately goes out of play once again for another Lander throw near midfield. So yet another throw in, this time for Douglas in their own half. Mason Morton steps onto it, kicks the ball forward for Blue Blackburn to chase, but there's too much on it, and it's over the byline for a Douglas goal kick. 3 minutes left to go in the first period of extra time. Excuse me. Douglas goalkeeper takes a goal kick, and it rolls all the way through to find a Lady Cat in midfield, but Mason Morton picks it up for Lander before Douglas clears it long. Now Aislinn Donahue steps out of her goal to come forward and grab it out of the air. And Donahue's drop kick into midfield lands with neither team in particular, but now Mason Morton does find a moment of possession, looking for Aurelia Reagan on the right-hand side, but it's out of play again. So Ella Stanberry is off, and Hadley Weston, number 30, is on. Headed forward into the Lander Valley half by the number 9 for Douglas, but once again, the wind involved and takes the ball out of play. Into the final 2 minutes of the first extra time period here. The ball still goes out of play. The ball shaggers are as busy as ever on the far side, where the wind continuously is just taking the ball over the field of play and again, the ball goes well beyond the field of play. That one seemed to bounce over the fence and into the street beyond the field. That's a big job for the ball shagger, who's really getting their steps in this afternoon. Now Lander Valley has a throw inside of their own half. Douglas gets a head on it. Mason Morton clears. Out of play. Douglas with another throw inside the Lander Valley half. Addie Weston gets a touch on it. Douglas sends it forward. Douglas battling for the ball on the top of the Lander Valley box, and here comes a shot from Douglas, but it's great defending by the Tigers to knock that ball loose before the shot could come off. Now Douglas, though, with another throw, and this time on the near side. Cleared away by Lander Valley. We're counting down on the last 5 seconds of the first extra time period. And there it is. There's the whistle on half number 1 in extra time. We will take a short 2 or 3 minute break followed by another 10-minute half. This time we expect that Lander Valley will be playing with the wind at their backs, which could help them find an all-important winner very, very late in this game. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with the semifinal action.
Washakie area since 1945. For this week's special, see their website at HeinzGeneralStore.net. And for convenient shopping this winter, click on Heinz Online. Download the app and shop in the comfort of home. Schedule a convenient pickup time, and the team at Heinz General Store will do the rest. Heinz General Store is a proud sponsor of Wyoming Indian basketball. Let's go, Chiefs!
Why should you choose Lander Medical Clinic or Western Family Care for your health care? In addition to 4 locations in Fremont County, they also provide telehealth. Telehealth can be your go-to answer when you're out of town, on the road, or just can't get to urgent care. All you need is a good internet connection. To schedule a telehealth appointment, call 332-2941 today. That's 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care. With telehealth, they're putting your health first every time.
Natural Health Solutions offers treatments for a variety of conditions, along with nutritional counseling, chiropractic, acupuncture, and more. Treatment plans designed individually to optimize your health. Call for an appointment, 856-8181 today.
At Teton Therapy, our people make the difference. You can live pain-free. The amazing staff at Teton Therapy can help in Lander and Riverton.
Are you a caring person that wants to help but not sure where to go? Wyoming Senior Citizen Inc. is looking for caregivers across the state. Call 307-856-6880 to find out more information. They would like to wish all Fremont County athletes good luck this year.
So this is Austin with WYO Today. We are back with the final extra time period here in this semifinal matchup between the Lander Valley Lady Tigers and the Douglas Lady Cats. The score is still tied 1-1 with 10 more minutes of open play to come as Lander Valley gets us back underway through Blue Blackburn. Now it's Aurelia Reagan looking for Mason Morton. Goes all the way back to Ali Atnip, who does well to get a foot on it. And the teams have switched sides now, so now Lander Valley progressing from left to right in my vantage point, meaning they are traveling with the wind, which could be an advantage for them. But now it's Douglas with an opportunity at the top of the box, but they missed the shot. Still in possession of Douglas, though. Here comes the shot. Aislinn Donahue gathers it. So more offensive pressure from Douglas. Both teams looking for the all-important second goal at this stage of the game. A goal scored by either team would surely be a winner, as the whistle is blown in midfield for a foul. Hadley Weston, the number 30 for Lander, the recipient. And it will be Mason Morton, 50 yards from goal, stepping up to take the free kick. Morton scored from a very similar position earlier in this game, a little bit closer to goal that one, but not much. We expect Morton will go direct. The ball is rolling on the pitch due to the wind. Here comes Morton's free kick, and the shot is over the goal. So even from 50 yards, Morton, combined with the power of the wind, somehow sent it all the way over the goal and out of play. So Morton on that shot must have been thinking, I'm really far from goal. I need to put a lot of power behind this, but may have not accounted for that wind speed, which just carried the ball further than she wanted it to. 8 minutes to go until penalty kicks, if the score is still tied. Now Lander Valley progressing forward, finding Blue Blackburn at the top of the box. Now Mason Morton with a shot. Goal! Lander Valley scores! Lander Valley takes the lead. And it's Mason Morton once again coming up with the final product. Combining with Blue Blackburn, who stayed composed to create that accurate shot inside of the Douglas box. And Morton running onto it first time, hit it into the wide open gaping net of Douglas. It's 2-1 Lander Valley. So just 7 minutes left to play in this extra time period. Should the score remain 2-1, Lander Valley will be playing in the final tomorrow at 1 p.m. Now it's Douglas coming forward. And Douglas commits a foul against Finley Morton inside of Lander Valley's half. Lady Tigers will have a free kick here. So a yellow card shown to the Douglas number 13 for that challenge on Finley Morton. She will have to come off of the field for a moment as a penalty for the yellow card, and she'll be replaced by the number 10 for Douglas. Meanwhile, it's Mason Morton stepping up to take this free kick yet again. This one is inside of her own half, but with the intense wind speed today, even from this distance, she could still put this ball into a dangerous area, even from so far out. And here comes the free kick. It drops near the Douglas box, but a Lady Cat gets her head on it. And it goes over the top toward Hadley Weston, but the offside flag is up against Weston. That'll be a free kick to Douglas. Hadley Weston just couldn't get her lines right there, trying to run forward on goal from the ball over the top, but she was just a hair offside. And it's Douglas battling against the wind as they try to equalize again in this game. It is noteworthy that all 3 goals scored in the match have come with the direction of the wind. I believe there is no coincidence there. The ball goes out of play again for a Douglas throw. Excuse me, not a throw. This will be a free kick inside of their own half, the Lady Cats. Here comes the free kick. It's sent long into the Lander Valley penalty area. Opportunity for Douglas here, but Aislinn Donahue did so well to get off her line and block a header that was surely bound for the back of the net. Donahue having an excellent performance here in the semifinal. 5 minutes to go. So the ball's out of play. That'll be a Lander Valley throw near midfield. A pair of substitutions, one for each team. Aurelia Reagan comes out of the game for Lander. Reagan's replaced by number 37, the sophomore Kennedy Bernard. Addison Weston sends one long toward Hadley Weston, but the Douglas goalkeeper gathers it. And I have just received word that in the other semifinal, Powell and Cody girls are tied in the second period of extra time. So both girls 3A semifinal matches going to extra time today. Extra time has been a theme of the state tournament this year, but dramatic stuff in the 3A girls bracket. The winner of that match will face the winner of this one tomorrow in the final at 1 p.m. And with 4 minutes left to play here, Lander currently on top with a 2-1 lead. Douglas coming forward now into the Lander Valley half, but cleared away by Ali Atnip. Ball's picked up in midfield by Addison Weston. And a handball called there against Mason Morton, so Douglas will have a chance to take a free kick near the midway line, and it's taken quickly because the clock is running down for Douglas. Still Douglas, but cleared well by Brindley Hammond. Hadley Weston finds Mason Morton, tries to send it through for Blue Blackburn, but she was offside. Douglas once again stepping up quickly to take their free kick. This one resulting from the offside. Here it comes. Douglas into the Lander Valley half. Still Douglas on the left side trying to get across into the box. Brindley Hammond did well to block the cross, and Douglas takes the throw quickly. Still Douglas battling. Still Douglas into the box now, and it's out of play. So dramatic late action here. Douglas really fighting hard to try to get a second goal and equalized in the match. Of course, if they could do so in the next 2 minutes and 25 seconds, they could take this game to penalties. If not, it'll be Lander Valley victorious and bound for the final. Hadley Weston tries to send it through for Blue Blackburn, but it's defended well by Douglas. Addie Rounds working hard defensively. It's all about defense for Lander Valley now. 2 minutes of defense to play, and they're in the final. Douglas throws a ball into the box. Everyone back defending now for Lander Valley, and it goes over the byline. That'll be a goal kick to Lander. A moment of relief for the Lady Tigers. Less than 2 minutes to play. Clock is still running. Lander Valley takes the goal kick. It goes long into midfield. Addie Weston boots it well out of play, and Douglas takes the throw in quickly. Douglas coming forward now. It's a loose ball in the box, and a referee on the far side has raised a flag for a free kick to Douglas. Less than a minute on the clock, and Douglas will have one more great chance here to take a free kick from the edge of the 18-yard box. This is wide near the corner of the box. 4 Lady Tigers set up in a wall formation. Clock is paused at 45 seconds. It will likely all be about this passage of play for Douglas. Huge moment in the game. The wind is still blowing. Douglas are kicking into a headwind here. Right on the edge of the 18. Here comes the free kick. And it's into the goal. Douglas scores. Douglas, with likely the last kick of the game, sends this one to penalty kicks. And you have to say, a beautifully taken shot from the Lady Cats, just lofted up and over the head of Aislinn Donahue, dropping neatly into the bottom corner of the goal. Incredible scenes here in Green River as Douglas keeps their postseason dreams alive, and Lander Valley is now facing penalty kicks. Just moments away from the final there, Lander Valley, and now we'll have to deal with the shootout. But there are still 30 seconds in regulation here. Possibly just a narrow opportunity for one more chance, although the ball now rolls out of play for a Lander throw inside of the Douglas half. Tinley Reisig defending well in midfield. 10 seconds to go. Douglas sends one long, but the final whistle sounds, and that's it. We're going to penalties here in the semifinal. Incredibly dramatic game. We thought we saw a dramatic game yesterday when the boys took on Warland, but this is somehow equally dramatic. I will change the scoreboard now to reflect the 2-2 score at the end of extra time. Lander Valley 2, Douglas 2. We're going to penalties. So high stakes postseason soccer tends to provide dramatic outcomes, and that's exactly what we've seen so far this weekend. Lander Valley now facing a penalty shootout to keep their state championship dreams alive. As we know, for those of you who have been following along with the Lady Tiger season, penalty shootouts have not always been easy for them. It's something they've been working on, and they've got another one here today, and perhaps the most important of their season and maybe even their high school careers. So in just a few moments, we will begin the penalty shootout as both teams' captains meet up momentarily with the referees at midfield to discuss the structure of the shootout. But for those unfamiliar, what we'll have is 5 shooters from each team. At the end of those 5 shots for each team, 10 shots total, whichever team has scored the most wins the game. So interesting to see which side of the field the referees decide will be the site of the penalty kicks. Given the wind speed, that will certainly be a factor. And it does look like the teams will be shooting into the wind. And it will be Douglas taking the first penalty. Aislinn Donahue, the Lander Valley goalkeeper, just wandering toward the goal now, getting ready to do her very best to keep her team alive in the state tournament. As we may know, penalty shootouts are very much about the performance of the goalkeeper. A lot of pressure on the goalkeepers for both teams here in this all-important, high-stakes semifinal contest. And I was mistaken. It will actually be Lander Valley shooting first in the shootout. Mason Morton has assumed the position. Morton will try to set her team off on a good start by taking the first kick. Morton, the senior and captain, is so reliable in all sorts of ways for her team, and now she has another chance to display her quality and leadership here. Don't go anywhere. This is intense stuff. The crowd is all on the edge of their stadium seats. Spectators from all around the neighborhood have gathered to watch this. And I have just confirmed, thanks to a comment on the YouTube channel, that in the other 3A girls semifinal, Cody won the shootout. So that other semifinal went all the way to a penalty shootout as well. And Cody came out victorious. So whoever wins the shootout that we are about to witness here, Lander Valley versus Douglas, will be playing Cody tomorrow at 1 p.m. So it's Mason Morton placing the ball on the penalty spot, hoping it'll stick. The wind thinks otherwise. Very difficult to take a penalty shootout in these kinds of conditions. Morton. Saved. So Mason Morton's first shot for Lander Valley, saved by the Douglas goalkeeper. Morton stepped up and just didn't get the power that she would have liked on that shot, and it rolled toward the left corner, and the goalie got down without too much issue and saved it. Now it's Douglas stepping up to take their first penalty. Scored. So advantage Douglas early in this penalty shootout. Both teams have taken one shot, and the score of the shootout is 1-0 in favor of Douglas. Now it'll be Blue Blackburn to take Lander Valley's second penalty. Scores. So Blackburn, under pressure, scored her penalty kick, keeping her team in this. And I have now adjusted the scoreboard on your screen to reflect the score of the penalty shootout, not the score of what we saw earlier during regulation and open play. Douglas taking their second penalty now and scored. Aislinn Donahue dove the right way, nearly got a hand on it, but Douglas, number 23 for Douglas, did well to bury that against the side netting just too far away for Donahue. Now Lander Valley takes their third penalty, and it's high from Finley Morton over the crossbar. So the advantage very much in the hands of Douglas now. Douglas has scored 2 penalties. Lander has only scored 1. Douglas shot, saved by Aislinn Donahue. So Donahue just keeping the Lady Tigers in this. Number 3, Addie Rounds, stepping up to take the 4th penalty for Lander Valley. Rounds. Scores. Lander Valley still alive. Both teams have scored 2. The advantage is still in the hands of Douglas, but it's quite narrow. The shot from Douglas. It's wide. So Lander Valley still alive here. Douglas with a huge opportunity there to just about kill the game, but it's missed under pressure, and Lander Valley is still in this. Both teams have scored 2. I believe this is Brinley Hammond stepping up now for Lander Valley. Brinley Hammond, number 8. Scores! So it feels like the tide might just be shifting here. It's still too close to call as we're beyond the initial 5 shooters now. And Douglas takes a shot and it's scored. So 3-3. So what we'll have now, after the initial 5 results in 3 scored penalties for each team, I believe it goes to a sudden death-like format during which if one team misses and the next team scores, that's it. In the other direction, if one team shoots and scores, the next team must step up and match that. If they miss, it's all over. So the penalty shootout continues here in the semifinal beyond the initial 5 shooters. Both teams managed to score 3 of their 5 penalties. And still, after 100 minutes played and 5 penalties taken, we do not have a winner here in the semifinal. It's Addison Weston for Lander Valley stepping up to take penalty number 6 for her team. Addison Weston, number 15, preparing to run up and take her shot. Weston scores. Lander Valley takes the advantage. Douglas needs to score this if they want to stay in the game. If Douglas misses, Lander Valley is going to the final. Here comes the shot. Scored. So we're moving on. It's still going. Nail-biting stuff here in Green River in the semifinal. Now it's Allie Atnip stepping up to take penalty number 7 for the Lady Tigers. Allie Atnip, a starter throughout this season, has played such reliable and consistent defense, now has a chance to contribute offensively and put an all-important goal in the net. Atnip shoots, scores. So a tidy finish from Atnip. Not a lot of pace on it, but it did find the corner and was taken beyond the reach of the Douglas goalkeeper. Nice work from Atnip. So once again, Douglas must make this shot to stay in the tournament. Here comes a shot. Scored. So Douglas answers back. We're going to penalties number 8 for each team. Both teams have scored 5 here. That last one from Douglas just chipped beautifully into the top corner. Nothing Aislinn Donahue could do about it. High drama here in Green River. It's Tinley Reisig, number 5 for the Lady Tigers, stepping up to take the 8th penalty for her team. Scores! So Tinley Reisig buries that one in the corner. Nice work from Reisig. It was all about placement. Lander with the advantage again, and Douglas looking to answer back. Here comes the shot from Douglas, but the wind is blowing the ball off of the penalty spot, so we will have a momentary delay here. The referee says go ahead. Here, the shot from Douglas. It's scored. Whew, 6-6. Hearts are pounding throughout this stadium. 8 penalties taken for each team, 6 penalties scored. And it'll be number 30, Hadley Weston for Lander Valley, stepping up to take penalty number 9. Weston, shot, scored. Both teams going on a roll now. It's advantage back in the hands of Lander. Douglas forced to answer back once again. Aislinn Donahue will look to make the all-important save here. Here comes Douglas. Shot. Saved! And Lander Valley wins. Aislinn Donahue catches that penalty, wins it for her team, sends Lander Valley Lady Tigers to the state final. Unbelievable scenes here in Green River. The Lady Tigers celebrate down there on the pitch. That was one of the longest penalty shootouts I've ever seen in high school soccer. Could have gone either way, but in the end, Lander Valley comes up on top. Just remarkable stuff. They're hugging out there. They're cheering. Everyone from Lander is stoked. A hard loss for Douglas, but wow, what a game we have just seen here in Green River. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to get out of here quickly because the Lander Valley Tiger boys are set to kick off any moment now. Perhaps they already have. So I'm going to run over to that other venue, try to get there ahead of kickoff. If I miss the game by the first few minutes, I'll be there as quick as I can. So if you're watching the Tigers boys as well, tune in 10, 15 minutes or so, and I will be live. But congratulations to Abilio Monteiro and the Lady Tigers for keeping their postseason dream alive and going to the state final tomorrow at 1 p.m. against Cody.
At some point, everyone is a pedestrian.
When you're driving, yield to pedestrians. Wear light clothing.